Hello, hello, I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang at the Smithsonian Castle here on the National Mall. Temperatures are decent and going down slowly but surely as we get into sunset, 78.8 or so here on the National Mall. But the bad news is, even though the work week starts out on an okay average note in the roughly low 80s or so, we could be adding, by the end of the week, a couple more notches to our heat tracker for the summer. Perhaps we get up to 55 days for this summer of 90 or higher. But the good news is the tropical Atlantic has finally quieted down. I'm so happy not to have any tropical aspect to this Sunday broadcast. But in the near term, overnight tonight, we could see clouds move in, perhaps a couple showers in the region. 68 degrees or so isn't terrible for downtown DC, and cooler out in the Shenandoah Valley along the I-81 corridor. Tomorrow, showers and storms are in the forecast. The stalled out front and storm system to our south keeps a slight threat south of town, a very slight threat, excuse me, of severe weather. But luckily around here, just everyday thunderstorms here in the light green. Now looking at the high temperatures, we think it should still get to around 80 tomorrow. Depends on exactly how much sun we do or do not see. More clouds than currently expected, we might get capped in the upper 70s, but some low 80s are possible if we see greater numbers of peaks of sunshine tomorrow. And then a little bit muggy going into Monday night, tomorrow night, 65 degrees or so, slowly increasing humidity, easterly flow coming in off the bay and the Atlantic, keeping our atmosphere a little bit more and more moist. But I guess we're lucky on Tuesday to dry out just a little bit. I want to draw your attention to this warm front that is heading toward us Tuesday night. That is what brings the heat Wednesday and Thursday. When you combine these temperature projections in the 90s and the humidity levels, we could see some heat index values in the upper 90s. So I'm just going to drop that in there. Be ready to sweat potentially on Wednesday or Thursday. Not technically a heat wave because it's not going to, it doesn't look like it will be 3 days at or above 90 degrees or hotter. So that's the good news. But yes, dew points 70 degrees are not out of the question. It could be a little bit muggy, a little bit gross on Wednesday, Thursday. And honestly, for the foreseeable future, even after the temperatures go back down a little bit on Friday, I don't see us getting any dry, pleasant, comfortable air in the region into the foreseeable future. So kind of enjoy this evening and tomorrow and even Tuesday. The dew points stay a little bit under control in the more pleasant category. Now, our summer overall was our 7th hottest. So see all the details on our scorching summer at cwg.news/summer summary. A little bit of a wordplay there, but you'll see this graphic in there that gives you the rundown of the top 10 hottest summers. And 2019, right there in the number 7 slot, it was plenty hot. And I'm just glad that it is over and slowly getting over. Our average last day of 90 degrees is actually this coming Wednesday, and it could again see 90 degrees. Now rainfall, in the last 7 days we've kind of had a donut of dryness, I'm calling it. The blue and the green are actually some of the wet spots, and you see the rains from Dorian along the coast. And here in the central part of our region, Stafford, Fauquier, and Prince William are kind of the wetter, luckier spots, but gardeners are complaining around the region. Luckily though, the medium-term soil levels, the abnormally dry levels, are staying by the drought monitor standards. In the medium term, that's looking over more than a week's worth of rain. Abnormally dry though, central and southern Virginia. So luckily around here, we're not technically abnormally dry, but gardens really do want some rain every 5 days or so, if not a little bit more frequent than that. Looking ahead over the next week, not too much good news for gardeners. Light rain generally going to happen more often than not over the Blue Ridge Mountains, and a little less favorable conditions for rain in the eastern parts of our region. So I guess gardeners, be ready to water if you are east of I-95 in the coming week. Looking ahead, precipitation 6 to 10 days from now, kind of iffy. Not a major atmospheric signal that we're going to stay moist, so continue to think watering those gardens if you've got them. And the temperatures, now there's a signal here. We have a high chance of being above average in the 6 to 10 day period. Camden, what is average around now? The middle part of this week, we've got 81 for a high temperature at DCA. That's our average. And let's see if I can get it to focus there for you. We've got 64 degrees for our average low temperature about this time of year. There we go, 81 to 64. Haha, I got the camera to focus on that. And that's our average this time of year. And again, shrinking daylight. These Sunday broadcasts are going to be earlier and earlier since sunset is sneaking early and earlier. So I'll be seeing you in the coming weeks a little bit earlier and earlier as the day length and sunsets get. Oh, great sunset here on the mall. I hope you guys are looking at the sunset. It is great right now. And again, if you're suffering from some pollen right now, grasses and weeds are a little bit high. This is the last report out of Walter Reed, so keep that in mind. You're not imagining that you are feeling a little bit in the air, in your eyes, your nose. You're not alone. All right, let me look at some questions and comments. Petra, how is Tuesday? I'll call it medium humid. Dew point should still be in the 60s, Petra, so not oppressive. Kenneth, not cooling off anytime soon, and you can't really tell what season we live in. Well, fall is slowly coming, and our average last date of 90 degrees is this coming Wednesday, so there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Keep your chin up a little bit. And it has been a beautiful weekend, Karen, I agree. Emily, 81 degrees is great. I'm glad you are happy with that. On the mall right now, I am very happy. It's 78 degrees here outside the Smithsonian Castle here on the National Mall. And it has been a beautiful weekend, Karen. I totally agree. All right, Kevin, thanks for watching. Annette, I did get to enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the weekend too. Ted, when can we expect some fall-like weather? Give me 10 days, please, Ted. Not in the foreseeable future, unfortunately. I want to look at this really quick. The overnight low temperatures even stay muggy and warm because the more moisture and water vapor in the air, the higher the dew point, the less easy it is for these overnight low temperatures to cool off. So this is indicative of moist, muggy-ish air for the foreseeable future. And you may have even seen the temperature graph that I put up in the 6 to 10 day period. High probability here in this bright red and this bright orange of staying above average for temperatures in the 6 to 10 day period. I'm sorry for the bad news. If you're looking for fall, it is not on the horizon just yet. Ready for fall, Thomas? I am too. Non-upper 90s heat index later this week. It is possible for Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures alone without combining humidity are looking to be above 90 degrees. And we think dew points could get to around the 70 degree mark. And that is muggy and gross. So you combine these temperatures above 90 and the dew points around 70, the heat index values could get into the upper 90s perhaps as well. I'm sorry for the bad news, Don. The heat okay, Liz, but the humidity is not fun. I agree. And Deborah, the cicadas, I was hoping my new microphone would help. Hopefully you can still hear me over the cicadas. I love them too. I just hope you can hear me. Hello, Lee. Thanks for joining. And Peg, thanks for joining as well. Good to see you. And Laura, it has been a beautiful weekend. You are right. Annette, happy Sunday. A very nice weekend. Arlene, gorgeous day in Culpeper. I'm glad Culpeper's doing well today. And Scott, sorry I can't watch this politically opinionated weather reporting page. Scott, if you did not see what we did a thorough report on the NOAA aspect with the Birmingham office of the National Weather Service. I hope you got to read that at capitalweathergang.com. But I haven't included that in my links. If you're looking for the latest weather reports, please click on my face popping up below on your mobile device. You'll see all their latest. The PM update by Greg Porter at cwg.news/latest. Our summer summary, go to cwg.news/summer summary. And you'll see our details on how it was the 7th hottest summer on record in DC. So we had some nice standing there in the stats. We're definitely in the top 10. This is the 7th warmest summer we had for June, July, and August. And what else? You can subscribe to our email at cwg.news/email if you want our forecast delivered to your inbox every day. And we're also on YouTube at cwg.news/YouTube. And of course, follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. Liz, thanks again for tuning in. It was indeed a gorgeous weekend. Peter, hi. And David, hello. Karen, thanks for joining as well. Before I do a recap, let me make sure I have not missed any other questions. Oh, Joanne, yeah, pool weekend. I had a pool moment this weekend as well, but it was the last time that I think it's open for the season. So I wish that with these hot temperatures that pools were open a little bit later. I'm kind of agreeing with you. Kathy, it's finally cool enough to bake again. I agree. Turning on the oven has become a little bit easier. Lee, it's hot as heck in Mississippi. Yes, indeed. Hello, though. I'm glad you're tuning in from Mississippi. And what else? Randy, no more. I want a different forecast. Who do we talk to about that? I am very sorry. We're going to have to maybe be delayed on fall delivery for you. It got stuck in transit. Fall is not on the horizon just yet. Heat and humidity Wednesday, Thursday. It could combine to produce heat index values in the upper 90s. I am sorry about that, Randy. All right, Mary. Anything else in the Atlantic that has storm potential? The good news, short answer, no. I am so happy that the tropical Atlantic has calmed down. Nothing in the foreseeable future threatening us anywhere near even the slight chance of Dorian, as we reported last Sunday, threatening our region. But this weekend, I have good news. Nothing threatening our region. Tropical Atlantic pretty quiet. We will continue to watch it at least through mid-October. The season is peaking around September 10th, typically. And there's a little bit of a secondary peak in mid-October as well. And of course, the end of hurricane season is November 30th, so we won't completely sleep until November 30th. But good question, Mary. Thank you. All right, William. Ow on the heat. I agree with you. Kristen, thanks for watching. Stephanie, I'm sorry. No, she says, with the heat coming in. Randy, Gabrielle does stay out to sea. And so far, so good. Nothing threatening the United States right now, so rest easy. For the latest, if you want more details, go to National Hurricane Center at nhc.noaa.gov. And Misha, the fall sports practices, possibly rain again. If that's what you're worried about, rain, it doesn't look like too much amounting this week. Over the next 7 days or so, this really isn't too much, especially east of town. It could stay fairly dry this week. But these amounts, when you think about a 7-day period, 6.5-day period technically, favored, yes, over the Blue Ridge for rain this week, but these rain amounts, 1/10 of an inch or so for much of the region, don't worry too much. These will be generally hit or miss showers and storms as we go forward this week, so don't worry too much. Scott, when will we start having 70s as an average daily temp? I think September. It's going to be after the equinox, Scott. That's a great question. 79 degrees probably happening in 2 weeks or so, and I can't wait as well. I can't wait to bring on a 79-degree average high temperature before the end of September, I believe. All right, stuck in transit, Anna. I'm sorry, fall is indeed stuck in transit. Not on the foreseeable horizon when we're looking at the weather forecast, the temperatures. Amy, thank you very much for tuning in to CapitalWeatherGang.com when you can, and follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. And William, correct, Gabrielle is not a threat to the United States. Don't even worry about it. It is actually heading toward the United Kingdom in the coming 5 days. And Deborah, let's see, at least my dehumidifier is producing enough water for plants. Good call, Deborah. Keep watering those gardens. And Randy, thanks. I'm glad you're following. Appreciate it. Really appreciate you tuning in. And Margaret, you're most welcome. Sarah, any chance of indoor recess this week? Is that a school term? I am sorry. Please clarify. And then Mary, trees are changing color over by my house. Generally, that's more dryness. That is indeed a little bit of this lack of rain, more than the temperatures and the lack of day length that is deactivating the photosynthesis. That's not happening just yet, but that's a good call. Next week, I'll start doing a report on the fall foliage expectation, which generally we peak in DC proper, like around the Beltway, late October, even early November. So we have a while yet to watch the foliage develop around here. And let's see, Sarah, thank you for tuning in. No early snowfall predictions from me, Rob, at this time. We usually put out our winter seasonal outlook closer to Halloween. And looking forward to Sunday night forecast with Snowpeg. That's awesome. Your snow lover already getting on the bandwagon. Give me at least another month on that. Yep. And then Joanne, indoor recess happens on rainy days, so you're looking for some rain. Showers and storms are possible even tomorrow on Monday. Generally dry on Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't make promises just yet. Isolated kind of showers and storms are in the forecast Wednesday onward, I would say. But for the details on that, stay tuned each day to CapitalWeatherGang.com, and we'll give you the latest information. But you can see confidence as indicated by these broader bands, these broader swaths of temperature ranges possible here. This is the background simulations in this modeling system. They can't quite agree on just exactly where the temperatures alone will be this week, so that kind of indicates we don't know the weather forecast exactly with much confidence. So please stay tuned as we get closer on CapitalWeatherGang.com and follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. We should, be able to pinpoint with greater precision where the showers and storms might develop as we get closer into this heat, this 2-day heat dome, as it were, on Wednesday and Thursday. And yes, 90s are possible this week, Heather. Slight chance, yes, medium chance that they change a little bit, but there's a decent enough signal in the atmosphere that it looks like we're going to get pretty warm. Sarah, thanks for tuning in. And I wanted to hang outside early evening Thursday. I'm sorry, Stephanie. It's looking a little bit muggy and warm, but, this could change. Medium confidence only. And will next week be cooler? I'm sorry to report, Heather. The signals in the 6 to 10 day period, high probability we stay above average, and our average this time of year is 81 for a high temperature at DCA, 64 degrees for average low temperature at DCA airports. All right, what else have I missed from you? Let's see, Joanne, I answered your indoor recess question. The rain showers generally this week are hit or miss with a few storms possible tomorrow. So here's the bad news. Let me recap one more time. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang here on the mall outside the Smithsonian Castle behind me. A lovely 78 degrees right now. Getting a little bit muggier, I can feel. And clouds are moving in tonight with a chance of a couple showers here and there developing later tonight and into tomorrow. But the bad news. Let's start with the bad news. We might add a couple days onto our 90-degree day heat tracker. So we might be at 55, 90-degree days so far this year by the end of the week. But here's the good news. The tropical Atlantic is quiet. I have nothing to report to you like I did with Dorian last Sunday. That has luckily moved away. Dorian is moving up way into the Atlantic now. And we have a quiet Atlantic. Nothing is moving toward us. Gabrielle is moving out to sea toward the UK. We're good right now. We'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com, but at least it's quiet for a moment. Overnight tonight, not too bad, getting a little bit moist. An easterly fetch developing, 68 degrees downtown. A little cooler over near Woodstock and I-81 corridor, so that's nice. Showers tomorrow, even a few thunderstorms can't be ruled out with this stalled out front to our south and a weak low pressure system. Southeast Virginia might have to deal with a couple cases of severe storms in the darker green, but around here, everyday thunderstorms are what we're looking at in the light green, so that's the good news as well. High temperatures tomorrow around 80 degrees, plus or minus. Let's call it upper 70s to around 80. So yeah, comfortable enough, not too muggy. That's also good news, at least not muggy yet, but the moisture is slowly increasing the atmosphere. Again, we don't cool down much on Monday nights, mid-60s downtown, perhaps a little cooler again out in the mountain valleys along the I-81 corridor. And here's Tuesday's weather map. Generally dry, so that's good if you want to avoid rain on Tuesday. This warm front is what we're looking at moving through on Tuesday night. So we go from maybe another high temperature in the low 80s on Tuesday to warmer on Wednesday, Thursday. 90 plus degrees possible when you combine these temperatures and the mugginess, the humidity. The dew points could be 70 degrees or so. The heat index values upper 90s, as hot as the upper 90s, can't be ruled out. And again, with dew points around the 70 degree mark, muggy gross feel by Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Has higher confidence. And I don't see the dry, comfortable air coming into the forecast anytime soon, so try and enjoy the next couple days with dew points below 70 degrees while we have it. And now the summer that we just had, June, July, August, our 7th warmest summer. For the details on and more on this graphic, the top 10 summers listed here, go to cwg.news/summer summary. All the links I'm talking about, you can touch on my face, they pop up below on your mobile device, and you'll see the latest on the cwg.news/summer summary. Our forecast there from capitalweathergang.com at cwg.news/latest. And you can subscribe to our email updates if you want our forecast in your inbox every day, cwg.news/email, and subscribe on YouTube, cwg.news/YouTube. Here's what gardeners are complaining about, a donut of dryness. Here's DC, and the last 7 days of observed rainfall. This is as a percentage of normal. We are much below average where we should be in the last 7 days. And this red, orange, yellow around the lucky counties in the donut hole where they saw some rain. And the greens and blues here, Stafford, Fauquier did okay, Prince William did okay. And of course, here are the rains from Dorian along the coast. So that's why those rains are above average for what you'd normally see in a 7-day period this time of year. And guess kind of good news, even if gardeners are feeling it, we're not in a drought, we're not even abnormally dry, which is what these yellow areas are in central and southern Virginia. But, you know, we could use some rain. It's not going to happen in too much abundance in the next 7 days. This is the 7-day rainfall forecast through next Saturday night, Sunday morning. Generally, east of town is a little bit drier. West of town, especially southwest and the Blue Ridge, looking a little bit wetter. Generally, hit or miss showers this week, and a few storms can't be ruled out. Nothing severe, nothing too heavy. So gardeners, generally, keep the hoses ready. You might need to water a little bit more. Precipitation, kind of not a major signal either way. Slight chance we are above average with precipitation. That's what the lighter green means, at least in the western portions of our area, for the 6 to 10 day period. And the temperatures, now that's an interesting signal. This is a strong, high probability signal in the red and orange here that we are above average in our temperatures for the coming 6 to 10 day period. Camden, what is average this time of year? 81 degrees. Let's see. 81 degrees for an average high temperature. I hope it's focusing there for you. At DCA Airport by middle of this week. And 64 degrees for an average low temperature at Ronald Reagan National Airport for the middle of this week as well, just to give you some reference. And of course, we're losing sunlight day by day, day length is getting shorter and sunset's getting earlier. I mean, you'll see me earlier and earlier trying to broadcast before the sun goes down each and every Sunday as we get toward the winter solstice. And yes, if you're like me, you're feeling a little bit of this pollen. Grasses, weeds, they are bothering me a little bit. So you're not imagining that you're feeling some of this pollen in the air. Grasses and weeds are indeed high for this time of year. But I mean, I'll take it that we don't have a tropical system threatening us this weekend like we did last weekend. So I'll take a little bit of pollen over a potential tropical impact or hurricane impact. So that's where I stand. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anton, a dearth of rain. Shucks, I'm sorry that rain amounts are not what you may want to see for the next 7 days or so. Light rain amounts in the coming 7 days, especially east of town. Joanne, Farmer's Almanac is for entertainment purposes only. So we'll write about it. I think we actually had the Washington Post did an article earlier this week. But yes, it is not based on science. It's entertainment only. Kenny, will you post this donut hole later? Sure, I will absolutely show you this graphic. Once I get offline, I'll put this in the comments underneath this video for the live post, no problem at all. It's the last 7 days. It's just been fairly dry in the region. And look forward to sunny reports, Bob. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Thanks for tuning in. Heather, Friday looks like we have no idea about the temps. Yes, slow confidence. We're not sure if the cold front is able to get through on Friday. We might even see another warm front come through before Saturday. Generally, we're going to have a hard time once the warm air and muggy air moves into the region. It's going to be hard to get it scoured out. So it looks like decent confidence that it stays muggy and kind of moist and not really comfortable. But right, I agree with you that even with this primary model simulation here, this is saying 82 degrees, but you can see in the background the overall modeling system has many options here for a temperature range, higher or lower. So the confidence is low for the forecast as we get toward Friday. Very good eye. I'm glad you saw that. Jason, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. That's so kind of you. And Heather, most welcome for the updates. And Rob, no snow yet. I'm so sorry. Oh, my preference for models, once we get toward the winter, I guess I lean European, but the updated GFS, once we get toward winter, it will have a few more months under its belt. So maybe, Rob, we could finally get closer to the European performance during the winter. That would be great. And Heather, sorry I did not deliver you good news on the next week potentially still being warm. You want cool air like a lot of us do. Fall is just not on the horizon just yet. And boo to muggy Colleen, I agree. We could have heat index values on Wednesday, Thursday as hot as the upper 90s when you combine the heat and the humidity, which could be kind of around muggy or gross, the dew point around 70 degrees or so on the borderline of sticky and muggy and gross. Have a great week, Heather. Thank you for tuning in. I think I'm going to sign off, and I really appreciate all of you tuning in. It is currently here at the Smithsonian Castle, 77.7 degrees, 777, for a split second there. Have a great evening. Enjoy what we have while we have it. Yes, clouds are moving in as I look up at the National Mall sky here. But showers don't threaten right away this evening. They should hold off until hit or miss showers later tonight and into tomorrow. And the mugginess and heat really ramp up Wednesday and Thursday, so enjoy Monday and Tuesday if you can. So the work week ends on an okay note, begins on an okay note with some heat and mugginess in the middle. Mary, thanks again for tuning in. And Deb, thank you. Have a great week. Everyone take care and have a decent start to your work week. And follow us at capitalweathergang.com and on Twitter at capitalweather. Bye for now.